Hope everybody's having a blessed day. Uh, got my guy, Mr. Bashard, with me
Yep.
on the live tonight. So we wanted to direct the discussion. I guess something different. So wanted to talk about wrestling. I don't know too many people watch it, but it's always just something good to talk about. I remember from my recollection growing up watching in the early '90s and uh, early 2000s, and sometimes now the last recent couple of years has been pretty entertaining for the most. But watching Stone Cold and Rock and Undertaker, uh, people that matter, um, just to view watch it. It was always entertaining because you want to see not just the same old good guys versus bad guys, but it was just always something entertaining because you got to see the wrestlers be themselves and really just have like that feel of the flow of the character and make you feel connected to the wrestler that was delivering the promos and things of that nature and stuff like that. So, but it was definitely fun. Always, watching different wrestlers for my entertaining to just watch and just be enthralled with. So, I mean, of course, wrestling has like like the people that have passed on tragically or they done something to commit crimes and things of that nature. So, so who are the people that you still watch or growing? I mean, well, let me take that back. Who are
Good.
some of the wrestlers that you used to watch growing up, Bashard?
Well, let's see. I haven't watched that much money. I haven't watched that much wrestling when I was a kid because me and my mom never had any cable. But let's see. When I got cable, my favorite wrestlers were Hardy Boys.
Okay. So why the Hardy Boys?
They're too extreme. They're too extreme and whatnot. Or more
Okay.
likely, they're best known for their tables, ladders, and chairs matches with the Dudley Boys and Andrew Christian, and was known for winning the tag team championship. But
Mm,
I remember that time when the Hardy Boys won the WCW Tag Team Championship from the late Andrew and Booker T back in October 2001. And plus, I remember the Hardy Boys winning the Tag Team Championship belts again, but under the WWF banner.
mm-hmm.
But it actually took them, let's see, 6 years to win back the tag team total. So they left WWE. Why they left is beyond me. But I do know for a fact that but I do know for a fact that the Hardy Boys will one day be in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Oh, there's no doubt with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so like what did you since you spoke about Booker T and the invasion? Did you like the whole storyline of the invasion? Even though like the major people wasn't there, like like NWO, like the prime, like when I say like NWO, I mean like you know Sky Hall, Kevin Nash, Hogan,
Actually,
Goldberg.
they never appeared until after the invasion was ended.
Yeah, yeah. So like, did you did you like that they came there the next year, or did you have like this dream match where you wanted the five best of of the eras, the one that was running, you know, the the Monday Night Wars, or did you were you okay with the whole storyline from your recollection?
I was okay with the regular storyline, Brandon. So, but as far as the Machine McMahon owning WCW goes, well, I was actually okay with the fact that that World Championship Wrestling was no more, as well as Extreme Championship Wrestling. I like the fact that Vince McMahon bought both companies, but until their children about WCW and ECW, and the fact that they tried to put their own father out of business during the invasion era.
Mm. Kind of figure everything is like kayfabe. So I think like, did you ever really thought like it was actually really going to happen? With them, like, did you ever think that was a possibility that that could happen with them? Putting Vince out of business, or did you really not really take an interest in that? You already kind of figured what was going to happen.
Actually, I should know what's going to happen, but I do know for a fact that that when Kurt Angle and Stone Cold Steve Austin in between the years with the World Wrestling Federation Championship belts, allowing the Rock to win, allowing the Rock to win the match for Team WWF. If Vince McMahon if Vince McMahon was victorious, more likely he won't have to worry about any other company putting him out of business any longer. So
Yeah, that was pretty crazy though. I still watch that pay per view from time to time. So, but it's I don't know. I think the one thing that stuck out for me when watching it, I think it was just like the whole year of 2001 with wrestling. Like I think the way I could say like the difference between then and now is like the pay per view stages. Each one stood out to its own. You know, the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania and all this stuff. Like they pay per view stage sets was like that's what kind of set the tone for like the matches.
okay,
So I think that's what stood out to me. Like that's what kind of like stole the show sometimes of how the stages look. Yes, go look for those in there. And sometimes I think like from what I can tell, I think it's hard to say what was the best wrestling year because it's like it's either one I never really thought to mention, but it's just so cool to watch. So I think like once when they changed the from WWF to WWE, it was like kind of crazy, but um, it was kind of like weird. Like why they changed it from WWF to WWE, but you kind of had to do the background, look up the news, and see like the reasons why they had to change it. So but that was pretty crazy though. So I mean, like they had to just change everything. Like sometimes when you get like a DVD of like a WWF show or something, they had to blur out WWF, like on the ring ropes, not the ring ropes, the turnbuckles, uh, on the banners, like on the ring side, and like the stages and stuff. So they had to blur all that stuff out. So it's all
wow.
right. Put damn shorts on and find some, man. Leave me alone. You see me doing something? Keep the same shorts on. Um,
Is everything all right?
yeah, I'm just talking to my daughter over here. But like talk about your experiences enjoying going to WrestleMania this past April. Like, what did you mostly enjoy? I guess because you did WrestleMania and Raw, right? Was that the only two ones
WrestleMania.
you Okay, so like,
Well, not the
so
WrestleMania.
like,
Hey, Brandon. Not
Hmm.
only was I able to go to Mania 38, but I did go to Raw after WrestleMania as well.
So you went to okay, okay. So tell me from your personal experience, like um, going to WrestleMania, like what was your feeling, once you got your ticket scanned in and you was good to go and you had like I think you had like the best seat. I know like the seats by the ringside like the best seats because you up close and personal with the wrestlers, but from where
Well,
you was sitting, you had a pretty good view. So
well, the
like, what
thing,
did you most like? Tell me about your experience like going there.
let's see, that was my first WrestleMania event ever.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite part was when Sasha Banks and Naomi won the women's tag team championship belts, and the fact that Johnny Knoxville was able to embarrass and shut up Kevin Owens for good, who supposedly
Yeah, that was pretty. That was pretty dope.
and am I gonna forget when Roman Reigns had defeated Brock Lesnar to unify the WWE Universal Championship and the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
I personally, though, in my opinion, I think that match could have been a little better. Um, I think it was kind of shortchanged. I didn't really think the match really lived up to any expectations in a sense. Because even though it was billed as the greatest match of all time or the biggest WrestleMania match of all time, I don't think it's really a match that will have in my top five or top whatever. I think that match could have been a little better. Um, I think um, I think the match that they had at SummerSlam was pretty good. Was I think it this match and the first time they fought, those were better than the ones in between. Um, Especially this one at SummerSlam and about a week or two ago. So I think a lot of things that came into play with that storyline. It just had that match had to be talked about in order for me to even really just look at it. So, um, but like what did you like? Did you enjoy like how the stage was looking? The presentation. Did you like the vibe of the crowd when you were watching the matches? Like,
Well, as far as that goes, I did enjoy. I loved the entrance way
mm-hmm.
with the WrestleMania logo, with the modern WrestleMania logo, but with like the rotating screens at the AT&T Stadium, there's the original WrestleMania logo.
Okay, okay. So I guess did you now my moment I kind of like the one with Cody when he came back. I like that one when Cody came back um, during the match. Well, his match with Seth Rollins, that was a pretty good match. Um, I think it was kind of a little sluggish. I think they match was a little sluggish. It was in between spots where they had to get the momentum back. Um, I think who else? Another match. The Edge and Styles match was pretty sluggish too. I think just because they never really fought before. This was like their first time fighting each other. But overall, I think I just started getting goosebumps once Triple H came out there. I think this was like my second or third time seeing him. Um, this was my first time seeing Stone Cold and The Undertaker, so that was pretty good. I think the whole vibe of it was very. You kind of speculated what was going to happen, but you just didn't know. Uh, you kind of figured what was going to happen. So
Yeah,
I think like overall, it was it was a pretty good. It's hard to say which one was better, one or two, but I think I just think the Roman Brock match wasn't really. I just didn't really like it at all. It wasn't really to like a crowd involvement because it. I mean, you already knew what was gonna happen. So, but
But the thing is, Brandon. The thing is, Brandon. I did draw WrestleMania 38, night number two. It was the first WrestleMania ever. But also to mention that I do like the fact that when the WWE made a promo to next year's WrestleMania event, WrestleMania 39, which will take place at the SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, just outside of LA. But unfortunately, I'm not even gonna be able to go there because I will have kind of work and school commitments and whatnot. But I will consider, but I will consider going to WrestleMania. I will consider watching WrestleMania at home.
well, I'm sure I don't think you're gonna be the only one that's gonna be doing that. So I think like it's okay to know when you want to go to places. So
Yeah,
you don't have to really feel bad if you're not able to go. Trust me, those ticket prices you have to fight somebody just to get those prices. But
I say, Brandon, those big tickets are actually $1,000 each. And you know what? That's grocery money, if you know what I mean.
well, to be honest, I looked on the website because the tickets are on sale right now. The cheapest one for two was like $93 a piece, and that's like
That's
for the
nosebleed seats.
well, with that stadium they got, what the Rams got, I think what the view that you're gonna be sitting at, I don't think I really consider to be nosebleed seats. So to our viewer that's watching, we're talking about the wrestling. So feel free if you got any questions or any statements or anything that you want to make. So, but I think like when you go to places like that, WrestleMania, Super Bowls, oh, excuse me, um, different events, you just have to just take it in, take it in, just watch and just look at the show, look at people that's having a match that's telling the story. You appreciate that. So for whatever the money value is, it's going to increase every year, no matter what, wherever the event that you go to. Even I think Super Bowl tickets and NBA final tickets are about the same, depending on I think the teams, the venue, and everything. So I think I might have to look up, see what was the highest ticket at the Super Bowl this year, where they had where WrestleMania is going to be at next year. So I mean, it's just about you got the funds to get it, go right here and get it. You can't just be discouraged each and every time when you're not able to go to places. Things come up. It's part of life. So,
Yeah,
um, but I think like growing up, it was always fun to go to places like that, go to wrestling shows and see your favorite wrestler and stuff like that. So I think there's quite a few people I wish I could have seen in person, actually fight. So I mean, I think so far, to my knowledge, I think I've seen John Cena, Daniel Bryan, Big Show, Punk, who, Bella Twins. Just enjoying yourself and having a good time. So I think for me, like I just be appreciative of going to places like that and just low key just having a good time and not being like how everybody else is overly celebrating the wrestlers and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
but
But I'm also mentioned I remember going to my first wrestling event that was held by what used to be the World Wrestling Federation at the Fort Worth Convention Center in downtown Fort Worth 2 decades ago.
mm, and how was that?
It was good. It was good. But most of all, Triple H wrestled Kurt Angle.
Okay, okay. So I assume that Triple H is one of your favorite wrestlers to watch, or
He's not my only favorite wrestler.
mm.
The
So
People's
what?
Champion, The Rock.
So speaking of the characters, which variation of Triple H do you like the most? Which one you like the most, and which one you not really feeling? You don't like.
I do not like the fact that he's a heel character, but I like the fact that he's a face character.
Mm. Well,
You know,
not
we
like
after return from injury.
no, it's not the as a heel or a babe or as a baby face. I mean like the variations. Like when I say like variation, I mean like the different characters. So like let me see. Um the DX Triple H.
Yeah,
Before Shawn
that
Michaels.
one, that one. D Generation X version, the D Generation X Triple H, as well as the co-founder of DX, Shawn Michaels, Reverend Rick Rude before he died, and Knocked Down the World of China before she died.
hmm So you got that one. You have when he goes on to go his own DX route, right?
Right,
Then you have the full departure when he turns a heel, Triple H. When he turned to the game, Triple H. He turned to my time. Then you have the injury when he tore his quad. Then he comes back as a baby face, right?
yeah,
So then he turns heel again when he's having the feud with Shawn Michaels and being pretty much the cornerstone of Raw when they do the Raw and SmackDown split ups, right?
right.
So which one would you say out of those? Like Evolution Triple H or beginning like you said DX the first time Triple H, or like which one did you really like the most that you felt like, ooh, this was like the character I really like the most?
D Generation X one,
Okay.
D Generation X. But actually, actually, I never even had cable, like cable growing up. Actually, because I can watch wrestling, but they was watching, but they remember watching Barney and Friends of Wheel of Fortune after school, whatnot. But I didn't watch wrestling until 1999.
Well, they did have magazines back then, Sean. They have some now, but not as much. But I mean, they did have like the WWF magazine just to keep you update. So you never had those back then, or
Actually, I had those magazines. I had the WWF magazines back then, but they're lost.
mm, mm. Okay, okay. So like, talk to me about like the last couple years since you've been watching wrestling. What has been what do you like about it now? Like not no like with all the wrestling companies, no wrestlers, uh, jumping from company to companies, new companies starting up. During the pandemic, and every company had to do a different route to keep people entertained into the product. And way
Well,
before the pandemic started. So, like, what did you mostly enjoy about watching different wrestling companies? Like, what did you
actually,
enjoy the most?
I can watch AEW, but I'm still watching WWE. But it's the fact that all WWE wrestlers were in the WWE Thunderdome.
So, what did you mostly like about that?
Well, let's see. Only difference is that there are only 1,000 people nation online. Actually,
Hmm.
1,000 people on online. Actually,
No, no, Rashard. What I'm saying like this. Let me break it down a little bit more. Like
but
when you're watching the shows, right, and the characters, what did you mostly enjoy watching about wrestling? like WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor.
WWE actually, WWE the most.
No, I'm
Uh,
saying, look, listen to the question. Listen, I'm gonna
sorry.
break it down to you. What did you mostly enjoy about the shows of each one? Like, what did you mostly enjoy about all the shows watching? Not like a comparison or like saying something, but like mostly like saying like, what did I enjoy most about WWE? What I mostly enjoy about this company, things like that. What like kind of stands out to you from watching these shows on TV and on YouTube and stuff like that? So like, what did you mostly enjoy about watching different companies?
Uh, frankly, I have no clue, Brandon. I'm sorry.
Are you good? You good?
But do know that either way it goes, it's still wrestling.
Yeah, but you gotta look at Rashard like when you see that you have to see like what stands out about this character. So
Right.
you can't say like you have to say like in a better way like when you think of it you look at okay the reason why I like The Rock I like his smarty witty jokes.
Well,
Um,
I was gonna go for that. Main reason. I say, for Joe Johnson, for example, I like the fact that his human character verbally operates edge and the fact that the Rock makes says hurls verbal insults as enemies.
mm, okay, okay. I mean
And
that's man that's a good feud right there. That's a good one. So you less I think that's you talking about when they fought towards the TLC match, or you mean like the very first time they fought? Well, the first few they had.
I was saying first few they already had.
Oh, the first. Okay, okay, that makes sense.
But also mentioned the first day was last chairs match took place at SummerSlam back in August of 2000.
Hmm. Well, I think what was kind of crazy is they didn't really say it was a TLC match verbatim. It was pretty much like what did they say. It was um a triangle ladder match.
That was at WrestleMania 2000.
Yeah, and then when SummerSlam came around, they said it was a tables, ladders, and chairs match. And then the
Right.
next year was TLC 2, and then they had TLC 3 on SmackDown.
The
When
way after Triple H
no, this
and then
was I think this was a week after that happened. So they had like TLC 3 when Benoit jumped, tried to do a outside move and he injured himself. So that's why he was gone for most of the that year 2001. So he had like
right.
a severe neck injury. So I think he was mostly gone. I think he didn't come back until like towards I want to say June or July 2002. Um,
Yeah, I just remember. I just remember that it was way before he killed his own son, killed his own wife, and then he killed himself.
yeah, we don't want to talk about that type of stuff on here. I don't want to
But
talk
my
about
bad.
that. But yeah, like I think I think the best part of watching the wrestling is like hearing the fans cheering and booing people. I think the best one I like so far is the "Let's Go Cena, Cena sucks" chant. I think that's about the best, the best one,
That kind of love hate.
and the "what" chants. So that's definitely fun to hear. I think I think I first heard that when I first went to my first Raw show. I was like, "This is crazy," and I think the other day it made it 20 years or 21 years
In 2001.
since he came up with that what chance. So um I think that's the best part about going to these shows and seeing like the crowd and participation. Let's go Cena sucks chant. Like that stuff there is so it's so fun to go to and hear. Um, but I think mostly like just going to these shows and just seeing your favorite wrestlers and things of that nature, and
Yeah,
just having a good time. So um, since Raw is coming up in October,
and Halloween.
who are you looking forward to seeing the most?
If necessary, I would pick the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns.
If he's there, if he shows up, that's the big thing. Um,
But the thing is that Clash of Champions.
what I don't think they have I don't think they have a Clash of Champions this year.
Actually, this year, next month, actually.
No, the Clash at the Castle.
All
That's what
right,
it's called. Yeah, Clash of the Castles. So I think what they're supposed to be doing, I think from what I've been seeing reports, most likely they're probably going to split the titles up again. Maybe I think.
or
I
maybe not.
think
I don't know.
probably. I think USA Network was in discussions of of having I think Karrion Cross having I think either the Universal or the WWE Championship. I think either one of the two. Um, I think, but I mean, eventually it's going to have to end with that unified title because that's too much of a long name to say. Coming down, he's WWE undisputed Universal Champion. Like that's a bit too much. So, but hopefully,
I really concur.
yeah. So hopefully, they'll have everything down packed with that. So hopefully, I mean, it'll be good for wrestling to just get these titles all split up and keep it fresh and uh, keep it trending. So, but
Wow,
I think Bashar, what we should do,
what's that?
I don't know, probably tomorrow. I'm not sure what you have planned for tomorrow, but
But I'm not doing anything else tomorrow.
okay. So we're gonna do a continuation of this discussion. Hopefully, the people that I had um, to join
Yeah.
uh, on here, I think they had to do some other stuff, but we're gonna end this on a good note tonight. So we're gonna say rest of the discussion part one.
All
We're
right.
gonna probably do part two probably either tomorrow or maybe Wednesday. I'm thinking. So either one.
Actually, I'm working that day.
You work Wednesday. Okay, we'll try to shoot it for tomorrow. Hopefully a little early. That way we can have a lot of energy and we can just get the gears going. But it's good that we got something going
Right.
right now. So
Right. And here and one last thing. One last thing. If Facebook, everyone, please tune into my coworker and good friend Brandon Cross's podcast called No Fly Zone. No Fly Zone. And when we get there, you'll enjoy every topic that we were talking about. So may feel free to be a guest on the show. And me for one, let's be his co-host for if it's ready with you, Brandon. Let's be your
no
co-host
problem,
if it's
man.
ready.
I ain't tripping, man. We're gonna have some fun. So we'll
Right.
see if
And
we get William on here from time to time. So
right. Here's the thing. Hopefully you'll get paid for a podcast. So here's what I'm going to do. I will find a number to Sirius Radio, so you give them a call and tell them about your podcast, and if they like it or love it, then you should get paid you should get paid for doing your podcast.
yeah,
Me and I for one like to get paid for being co-host of your podcast.
yeah. Hey, it's all about that. It's all about that. So I definitely
So
appreciate it, man. So
anytime.
no problem, man. So we're gonna end this tonight. We'll continue on part two tomorrow. So I
All right.
will